The attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, reshaped the world and irrevocably altered the lives of the Japanese naval commanders who orchestrated it. What became of these architects of infamy? Their paths diverged dramatically. Some consumed by the very war they escalated, others navigating the complexities of defeat, occupation, and a transformed world. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, Commander-in-Chief of the Combined Fleet, conceived the Pearl Harbor strategy. Aware of America's industrial power, he saw the attack as a risky but necessary gamble to secure Japan's initial objectives, warning he could only guarantee success for 6 months to a year. His vision briefly materialized as Japanese forces advanced across the Pacific. However, the disastrous defeat at Midway marked a turning point. Yamamoto, the strategic mastermind, found himself leading a losing effort. His end came not in surrender, but on April 18, 1943, when American fighters, acting on deciphered intelligence, intercepted and destroyed his aircraft near Bougainville. Yamamoto died mid-conflict, his legacy debated. Brilliant strategist, tragic figure, or architect of ruin. He never faced a post-war tribunal. Vice Admiral Chuichi Nagumo commanded the carrier force that executed the attack. A cautious surface warfare traditionalist, he nonetheless led the Kido Butai successfully to Hawaii. His decision against a third-wave attack on Pearl Harbor's infrastructure remains debated. Nagumo's initial successes were overshadowed by the catastrophic loss of 4 carriers under his command at Midway. Relegated to less critical posts, he ultimately led the doomed defense of Saipan in 1944. Facing defeat, Nagumo committed suicide on July 6, choosing death over surrender. Like Yamamoto, his fate was sealed within the war itself, his legacy tied to both stunning success and devastating failure. While the top commanders perished during the conflict, 2 key operational figures survived to witness Japan's surrender and navigate the post-war era. Commander Minoru Genda, Yamamoto's protege and the tactical architect of the Pearl Harbor air assault, meticulously planned the attack, solving crucial problems like torpedo deployment in shallow water. He served throughout the war, ending as an elite air unit commander defending the homeland. Following Japan's surrender in August 1945, Genda was demobilized into a defeated, occupied nation. He was interrogated by Allied authorities, providing valuable information on Japanese strategy. Despite his central planning role, Genda was not prosecuted as a major war criminal at the Tokyo trials, which focused primarily on high-level government conspiracy and specific atrocities. The attack itself was largely viewed as an act of war initiated by the state, not necessarily a crime for which operational planners were individually tried under the IMTFE Charter. His cooperation in the shifting geopolitical landscape likely aided him. The transitional period saw Genda adapt to post-war realities. Japan's initial pacifist constitution and military dismantling under Allied occupation gave way to new pressures with the onset of the Cold War and the Korean War. The U.S. began encouraging Japanese rearmament for self-defense. This created an opening for experienced former officers. In 1954, Genda joined the newly formed Japan Air Self-Defense Force, JSDF. His expertise led to a rapid rise, playing a crucial role in shaping the new Air Force, procuring American aircraft and establishing doctrine. His past was not forgotten, drawing occasional criticism, but within the U.S.-Japan Security Alliance, he became a respected figure, eventually serving as JSDF Chief of Staff from 1959 to 1962. This marked a remarkable rehabilitation, transforming the Pearl Harbor planner into a key leader of Japan's U.S.-aligned defense force. After retiring from the military, Genda entered politics, elected to Japan's House of Councilors in 1962 for the ruling Liberal Democratic Party. He served for over 2 decades, known for his strong defense advocacy, sometimes challenging constitutional limits on the military. He remained unapologetic about Pearl Harbor, viewing it as a strategically necessary response to American pressure like the oil embargo. His continued public life kept his wartime role in discussion, fueling debates on historical responsibility. Minoru Genda died in 1989, a complex figure embodying technical brilliance, controversial wartime actions, successful post-war adaptation, and the intricate relationship between Japan's past and its Cold War present. Perhaps the most startling post-war transformation was that of Captain Mitsuo Fuchida, who led the first wave air attack over Pearl Harbor and famously transmitted "Tora, Tora, Tora." A wartime hero in Japan, Fuchida participated in other battles, including Midway, and survived the war, partly due to fortuitous staff assignments later on. He was near Hiroshima just before the atomic bombing and witnessed its horrific aftermath, an experience that deeply affected him. After demobilization, he attempted farming and was interrogated by the Allies, cooperating and avoiding prosecution. His life then took a radical turn, profoundly impacted by encounters with Christian forgiveness, notably Jacob de Chazer, a Doolittle raider turned missionary to Japan, and the writings of Peggy Covell, whose missionary parents were killed by Japanese soldiers. Fuchida converted to evangelical Christianity in 1950. This conversion marked a complete break with his past. Fuchida became an evangelist, traveling across Japan and significantly the United States. He co-authored books about Midway and his conversion, presenting a powerful narrative of reconciliation that resonated with many American audiences, particularly within religious communities. He often shared platforms with former American servicemen. However, his presence wasn't universally welcomed. Some U.S. veterans protested his appearances, unable to forget his role in the attack. Furthermore, his historical accounts, particularly his claim to have urged Nagumo to launch a third wave at Pearl Harbor, faced scrutiny from historians and contemporaries like Genda, who suggested retrospective embellishment. Despite controversy, Fuchida continued his ministry for decades, becoming a U.S. resident but not a citizen. He died in California in 1976. His journey from leading the attack on America to preaching Christian forgiveness remains an extraordinary example of personal change arising from war and defeat, highlighting the complex interplay of memory, redemption, and historical narrative. The contrasting fates of these four men, Yamamoto and Nagumo dying in the conflict they helped ignite, Genda rebuilding a military career within the new Cold War alignment, and Fuchida finding radical spiritual transformation, illustrate the diverse aftermath of total war. Architects and executors of a pivotal historical moment, their lives reflect the enduring consequences of their actions. Yamamoto's gamble failed. Nagumo's caution couldn't avert disaster. Genda adapted his skills to a new reality, raising questions of accountability and rehabilitation. Fuchida offered a narrative of personal redemption, albeit one debated historically. Their collective stories underscore themes of justice, memory, adaptation, and the profound, unpredictable ways individuals navigate the ruins of war, forever linked to the echoes of Pearl Harbor.